Alaska had to create one of the strangest laws in America. It's illegal to give alcohol to a moose. This wasn't a joke. Someone actually did it.
A drunk moose rampaged through town, crashed into things, and terrified locals, so Alaska stepped in and made it a finable offense.
In this state, keeping the wildlife sober is literally the law.
New Zealand, the country that banned Aussies from owning rabbits. New Zealand has a rule that hits like a joke with teeth. In some regions, Australians are banned from owning rabbits. Why? Because Australia's rabbit disaster once wiped out farms, wildlife, and entire landscapes. New Zealand decided never again, so they outlawed the one pet tied to the chaos their neighbor unleashed. Imagine an entire country brought to its knees by a piece of gum. Not a riot, not a blackout. Chewing gum. In the early 90s, Singapore's brand new MRT kept collapsing into chaos. Doors refused to close, trains froze mid-track, and furious commuters piled up all because people were sticking gum on the sensors. One tiny blob could shut down the whole system and cost thousands to fix. It was embarrassing, expensive, and happening every week. So the government snapped. They issued one of the world's most extreme rules, a total chewing gum ban. No selling, no importing, no second chances. Harsh? Maybe. But it worked. And a sticky prank turned into a law that shaped a nation's identity. China. Time travel is not allowed without permission. In China, time travel isn't just a movie plot. It's a restricted idea. Filmmakers can't show characters jumping into the past unless the government approves the script. Why? Because changing history on screen is seen as disrespecting real history.
So a single time travel scene can get a whole show banned. In China, even fiction has rules.
USA. Two ridiculous American laws that turn out shockingly logical. You're hiking in Alaska and see a huge brown bear sleeping like a giant rug. Your brain says, this photo will go viral. But in Alaska, waking a sleeping bear for a picture is illegal. Not because it's silly, because too many tourists tried it, and some never walked away. A sleeping bear isn't cute. It's a loaded weapon you don't poke. Arizona, the desert law that forces you to save a life. Now head to Arizona, where the danger is the desert itself. There, refusing a thirsty person a glass of water can be illegal. In heat that can kill in hours, denying water isn't just cruel, it can be fatal. Two strange laws, one cold, one scorching, both sounding absurd, until you realize they all exist for one reason: survival. Samoa, the birthday law that can turn you into a criminal. In Samoa, there's one mistake a husband cannot afford to make. Forget your wife's birthday, and you're not just sleeping on the couch. You can actually break the law. This rule was created to stop neglect, protect family harmony, and remind husbands that "I forgot" isn't an excuse. In Samoa, love isn't just emotional, it's enforceable. Switzerland. You cannot flush a toilet after 10 p.m. in some apartments. Imagine this. It's 10:01 p.m. in Switzerland, and you need the bathroom. You reach for the flush, then freeze. Because in some Swiss apartments, flushing after 10 p.m. is basically forbidden. This strange rule comes from Switzerland's strict, quiet hours. Back when buildings had thin walls and loud pipes, a single flush echoed like thunder. One late flush could wake an entire floor of neighbors. So landlords created a rule to protect the peace. Use the toilet if you must, but wait until morning to flush. And here's the surprising part. Many Swiss still respect this tradition. Not because anyone is policing bathrooms, but because silence in Switzerland is treated almost like a shared duty. A quiet night is not a suggestion.
Argentina, the baby name too famous to use. In parts of Argentina, naming your child Messi is banned. The rule appeared after a surge of parents tried to name their newborns after the football legend, overwhelming local records.
Officials feared classrooms full of identical names and constant ID mix-ups, so they stepped in.
When one hero becomes too iconic, even baby names get restricted.
South Korea, the ink color that brings bad luck. Imagine writing someone's name and accidentally cursing them. In South Korea, writing a living person's name in red ink is a major taboo. Red was traditionally used only for the dead, on graves, records, and memorials. So using it for someone alive feels like wishing misfortune on them. A simple color becomes a warning. Never write a name in red unless you mean something dark. South Korea, the respect rule you can't break. But another rule goes even deeper. In Korea, disrespecting elders isn't just rude. In some cases, it can be legally challenged. Ignoring, insulting, or refusing basic respect can escalate fast. Two rules that seem unusual until you see how seriously Korea defends tradition and honor.